Okay, welcome to today's lesson. This is a Qigong Foundations for Beginners lesson, and we're going to be doing a lot of lower body movement today, so it's going to be a little bit less complicated than some of the other ones, but Qigong is all simple movements. So come join. All you need is a space where you can freely extend your hands in all directions and you don't hit anything. So once you find that space, we're going to come into our stationary stance called Wu Ji. So our feet are shoulder width apart. The insides of our feet are parallel to each other, so you see a straight line between the 2 feet. No pointing out, no pointing in. And I know that's complicated for some people because of our bodies all being different. So just do as good as you can. You're going to roll your knees out and over the balls of the toes. And then we're going to pretend like we're just about to sit into a chair, and we're going to find softness in our seat. So I'll say that a lot. So if I'm coming up being tall, soften the knees, and then I'm about to sit into a chair. It is not tucking the tailbone under. It is simply softening the pelvis, softening the sacral area through here, and pretending like you're just about to sit into that chair. So feet parallel, shoulder width apart. Knees are rolled out and over the balls of the toes. You are softening the hips. And you feel that low back release, and you extend through the back of the neck, elongating the spine. It's like you have a little string pulling you up at the same time as your low back is relaxing. You're going to feel your heart center pull forward just slightly. You'll see that shifts your center of balance to the front of your feet. And then we're going to sit slightly more into our chair right until you balance between the front 2 corners of your foot and the back heel. And when they are perfectly even, that's the spot that you need to be. Relax your shoulders. Let them relax back and down. The elbows are released. You find softness even in your fingers and your wrist. And you breathe through your nose. Tip of the tongue touches the roof of the mouth right behind the front teeth. The first lesson for today, once we're settled into our Wu Ji stationary stance, is that Wu Ji is about finding softness and strength at the same time. And our strength comes from just the natural ability for our body to hold itself up. We have tissues wrapping our joints in all directions, and we have different types of joints and movements, and it all supports so that you can simply let go of the tension in your body and concentrate on the 3 corners of the feet. The 3 corners would be the ball of the big toe, so right here, ball of the little toe, and the heel. So if we concentrate on the pressure going into those 3 corners of both feet, we can begin to just shift and release tension in our body and find trust that our feet are going to hold us up. And that all the tissues and tendons and ligaments in our body are going to do their work, and they're going to keep you standing upright. Next lesson, now that we're softening the body, is to begin to soften the mind and connect your mind, your breath, and the body. So begin focusing your minds just on your breath, nothing else. Let everything else fade away from your thoughts. And follow the path of your breath. So as you breathe in, you're following the breath up through the nose and internally into the lungs, feeling the torso. And as you breathe out, you follow it exiting the body through your nose into the space around you. It's a fun little exercise to move your mind from outside the body to inside, from external to internal. Most people create more tension when they breathe deeply on the inhale. So when you have this long, nice inhale, think about the shoulders relaxing back and down, about the lungs growing in all directions, about creating softness in the torso and the spine. And then grounding back down into the feet. When you find a certain amount of freedom, you begin to notice that your body may sway with your breath. And we could use this to initiate the posture swaying in the breeze, allowing the breath to be the breeze and your body to pretend like it's a tall tree or maybe a very tall piece of bamboo. And the breeze will shift it to one direction and then the other. And that breeze, like I said, could be your breath. So as you inhale, you allow your body to sway to one side. And on the exhale, you return back to center. And then inhale again and find a new path. And so we find this sense of freedom in our body. And we're connecting our intention, our mind, with our breath and our body. And now let's hone that in a little bit. And we're going to do what we call posting. So post means to put your weight over one foot. So you're just shifting to one side. So when I shift to my left foot, the majority of the weight is on that foot. My opposite foot is still relaxed. The three corners of the feet are still connected to the floor. But I can come up, or anybody can come up to me, and they can push my foot out from underneath me, and I won't fall because I'm fully grounded into the opposite post. And then I shift to the other side and do the same. So this leg is released with the majority of its tension all the way up through the body, through the back, through the core, the hip, the knee, except I find that there's just enough pressure to keep my three corners connected to the floor. And then I shift again. And again. And then I connect the breath. So maybe this time we inhale as we do the full post. We exhale as we travel. The center is the extent of our exhale, and then we begin to inhale as we post to the opposite side. So we want to also think about what's initiating the movement. So am I pressing away from the opposite side to post to the next posture? Or am I trying to find an easier path? Qigong is always about finding the do the most with the least concept. So if I'm posted on my right leg, I can either press away and activate a lot of energy and create a lot of momentum, or if I want to keep with my softness, maybe I just allow a little bend in my opposite foot that's not posted, the opposite knee that's not posted, and that initiates a change of center of balance to the opposite side. And then I do it with the opposite leg. So just that one little shift by bending this opposite knee allows me to shift my center of balance to the other post. And now I don't have to press away at all. So you're finding softness and ease in this movement. And from here, we can go into a figure eight. So if we're releasing our tension and we allow ourselves to look to the opposite side before we bend that knee, our hips will begin to do a figure eight. So we're all knees, so will our shoulders. But we want to find that softness and that continual movement with the least amount of effort. To create the figure eight. If it helps, you could put your hands on your hips and allow the elbows to do that same figure eight pattern. And then come back to center, find your Wu Ji, post from side to side to rebalance. So now we're going to bring this zipping up feel in our body by doing what we call the chicken step. So we're going to post to one side, I'm posted to my left, and I'm going to pull my right sole of the foot into the inside left ankle. And when I do that, I feel this pull all the way up my spine, and I still have that elongated back of the neck, and I don't lock out the knees ever. And then I find softness by stepping out softly and shifting to the opposite side and zip up as I pull that left foot into my right ankle. Then I step out and find softness again and repeat. do a lot of repetitions in Qigong movement patterns because it allows us to keep that focused mind without having to do a lot of changes and thinking. So they call Qigong sometimes a moving meditation. That's because you're just doing something repetitively and it just becomes a very natural sense. But moving is important to humans, so we get to take all these lessons, everything that we're doing in repetition now, we'll just easily incorporate into our daily movement patterns. It can be incorporated into just standing at the desk, or at the sink washing dishes, or standing in line at the bank or grocery store. It can also help with your posture when you're lifting weights or doing yoga. The more we do practice like this, the more it becomes just natural. So, next lesson, back up just a little bit, is that I'm posting to my right side right now. I'm going to chicken step. I'm going to think about where I want to go, which is angled and to the left, and I'm going to allow my left foot to step forward at an angle, and I shift my weight, posting into a front post. The back of the heel is just slightly in front of the back right toe. And then I bend that right knee, allowing me to sit back, posting to my back post. Maybe you want to do that back and forth a couple times. Using the knee bend to shift the center of balance. Making sure you're not leaning back, but you're sitting back into your chair. And then you're going to pull that front foot back to chicken step, zip it up, step out to the side, settle back down into softness to your wuji, and repeat to the opposite side. So chicken step, zip it up, think about where you're going to go, and step forward at an angle, front post. And when I'm front post, 3 corners of my back foot are still planted firmly to the ground. They're just staying connected. You're not pushing into it. And then we're going to back post. Again, it's more like we're sitting back into our chair. We're not leaning back. And then repeat to go, rocking forward, front post to back post. Connect your breath. Inhale with the front post. Exhale with the back post. And then draw that front foot back to chicken step, zip it up, and soften as we step back out. And just shift back to side posting. So we've done several different variations of lower body work today. That's a great way to start your Qigong practice and learning, simply because you can apply this, like I was saying earlier, to day-to-day tasks, walking, standing, shifting around, workouts, all that kind of stuff. And it's really nice just to be able to find softness in areas of your life that may be stressful. Work, crowds in a grocery store, things like that. If you think about connecting your mind with your breath and your body, then we can find that softness, that center of balance, and we don't have to worry about all the things going around us stressing us out anymore. We can become the observers. Settle back down into your wuji or stationary stance. We're going to close out our lesson today by reaching our hands out. And we're simply bending around our elbow. We're pulling up the energy around us and shifting it down the center of our body, pushing it towards the ground. And repeat. Now send your attention or awareness to a couple things in the room away from you so you can bring that focus out of the body and into the space around you. And maybe one last stretch, just open the body up. And release. And there we are for today's lesson. Thanks for joining. Remember that everything you did today, any lessons you learned, you could keep on practicing and incorporate it into your daily life. But yeah, we'll see you in your next lesson. Signing off. Take care.